into that place to get our son back, and something evil followed me.
Hi, it's John Murdy and Chris Williams, co-creators of Halloween Horror Nights. And over here we have the creators of Insidious, Chapter 2. Producer Jason Blum, writer, co-star Leigh Whannell, and director James Wan. Now you guys know horror movie fans. And if you know horror movie fans, you know they are absolutely rabid about the properties they love.
Right.
So to start things off, we thought it would be really cool if we got everybody to sign this exclusive Insidious Halloween Horror Nights poster, and then we're going to give it to one of our lucky fans out there.
I like it.
That's
I liked
awesome.
it.
Let's do it. Let's get to it. I'll start first.
Now, James usually takes up the prime real estate
Yeah.
in any poster signing. You know he's going to take up the best
That's why I'm the
spot.
first one in it.
Jason,
What
I usually like to do is I use a bigger font than James. The bigger the font, the bigger the star. There you go.
There you
Very
go.
good.
A big hand for the poster signing.
Signed by Jason Blum, Leigh Whannell, and another guy.
What do you think it is about the paranormal that appeals to modern day horror audiences? Why do you think that scares them more than, say, the slasher films or things that might have come out 10, 20 years ago?
I think fear of the unknown is huge with the audiences. That's really what drives a lot of horror.
But fear of the unknown, wouldn't you say, in a space that you're familiar with?
Yeah, it's like the ultimate unknown is death. No, and if you factor that into an environment that people understand, it's terrifying. That's why we're so pumped that this is the first really paranormal themed horror maze you guys have done, because we feel like it'll be the first maze that is tapping into this thing that is so popular, that is amazingly popular.
Yeah, and actually, Chris and I over the years have talked about this a lot, and we flat out avoided doing paranormal attractions because in our world, when we're creating a haunted attraction, it has to be visceral. It has to scare people that are walking through, and all these people are coming through, and it's like we always say 10-second scenes.
Right.
You said to us in that first meeting, it was like this is kind of not what we would usually do because we're so used to having things be loud and aggressive.
But I do think why it works with Insidious is because of the way we made the first Insidious film. The ghosts in these movies are real people, right?
Yeah.
They're real actors, and when you look down a hallway and you think you see a ghost, the ghost is represented by an actor, a person, and that you can play, like you're walking down a hallway and then someone walks by you, right? That is why I think we can make this work.
It makes a whole lot of sense in that respect, yes. And we're wondering if you guys had any paranormal experiences or anything like while you were shooting the film, or in your general life?
Or did you already believe in the paranormal?
I felt an entity hovering over my shoulder when I was making the movie,
That
that was Jason Blum. I love how Jason knew exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, yeah.
He beat me to my punchline.
Oh, yeah.
I had a weird experience going ghost hunting there. I was researching the first film and I was like, well, I've got to go ghost hunting. And I went with these guys and we're there in the middle of the night sitting in this dark room. I basically found out that ghost hunting consists of sitting in a pitch black room saying, is anyone there?
Well,
asking questions.
Wait, ask a
Sure.
question. I have a question for you. What did you think ghost hunting was before that? I mean, what?
I thought
were you
that there'd be like
expecting?
these jetpacks, with guns. I thought we'd be I thought that we'd be capturing,
Ghost
I
hunting.
thought that we'd be
With
sprinkling.
bow and arrows?
Yeah, exactly.
I see,
I thought that we'd be
Okay.
sprinkling holy water
Okay,
everywhere,
all right,
and
all
I didn't
right.
know what was happening. Turns out it's just a bunch of guys
I see.
sitting in a pitch black room
I see.
and saying, "Is anyone there?" And if nobody answers, it turns out no one's there. Although
No ghost.
that's not definitive proof because someone could have been there.
That's
They
and
were
not
just-
said anything.
That's right.
Why don't we'll talk a little bit about just your guys' experience coming to Halloween Horror Nights.
I'm a big fan of Halloween Horror Nights. I've been going there religiously, and it's just such a fun night. So I'm super excited that Insidious can get to be a part of this.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing because we don't actually celebrate Halloween in Australia. Like, obviously,
That's true.
James and I grew up there. So coming to the States, one of the biggest things for us was being introduced to this holiday, and it's easily my favorite. I mean, of all the American holidays that we don't have in Australia, Halloween's the best because it's basically, a gift-wrapped excuse to be a complete nerd and just celebrate all this stuff. And Halloween Horror Nights, I mean, as horror fans, the only thing better than watching a horror fan would be living it. And you're talking about a group of people who like being scared. It sounds oxymoronic, but these people actually like to be frightened. And, Halloween Horror Nights provides that.
Now, I understand that one of the first times you came to Halloween Horror Nights
Yep.
You had an interesting encounter. I think it was when we were doing the saw.
It's when you did the saw maze, so I was super excited about it. I wanted to see it, being recreated by, people like yourself and see what the experience was like. We walk in the front door of the saw maze and I'm greeted by the surreal sight of the set from the first movie, the bathroom, with an actor on the ground pretending to be me, chained up. And I kind of go over and jokingly give him some tips. I'm like, I would have done it more like this. And then I walked up and there was like a performer hiding. And I'm like, right, I'm going to get my Australian friend. He doesn't know what's going to hit him. And I grabbed him and I pushed him through the curtain into the area, thinking that next thing I know, there's a tap on the shoulder. And this little guy with a clipboard, he looked like Michael Cera. He's like, excuse me, sir, this way. And at first I'm like, someone spotted me on that. Who's got a pen? He wants an autograph. And he takes me outside the maze into like the back alleys of Universal. And I'm like, where are you taking me? And he's like, you have to leave, sir. You've been asked to leave. And I was just flabbergasted. I was like, I don't know how to put this.
Did you have him Google you or something?
Yeah, no, I was like, I wrote that film. Thankfully,
he
let
kept
me
saying,
finish.
Don't you know who I am?
Yeah.
Don't you know? Wait. You don't know who I am?
But he kept saying no. But you know what was funny was it was in the first 30 seconds. It wasn't like I did the maze for 5 minutes.
No, it was the first scene.
It was the first room, and I was already kicked out. Bad. That's what happened when you bring Australians into any situation. We either take our clothes off or we get kicked out.
That's right.
You're lucky I wasn't naked in that damn maze.
When you're creating a haunted attraction like this, it's kind of like trying to pick and choose what are the best scenes or your favorite scenes that you're going to bring to life from the film, and in this case, 2 films. We really responded to the idea of the further, particularly in the idea of connecting the first film to the second film.
Right.
The first half of the attraction is based on the first film, and then we go into and transition to the second half, and how we do the connection is with the further, and that's how we do the
Fantastic.
connection.
That's so cool, yeah.
I mean, when we were chatting to you guys about it, we were just getting so excited because the idea that you could walk through the attraction and go from our world to the other world, to the further, it was so exciting to us. It really mimics the film really well.
And that's also how the Insidious 1 and Insidious 2 are tied together as well. The further is what kind of marries the 2 separate films into one.
So whenever Chris and I are trying to translate a feature film into a live haunted attraction, we're trying to nail all the things that are important to the fan base, the tiny little details. So Chris brought along a little prop that has to do with 2 characters, Tucker and Specs.
It's one of the...
the 2 characters. Oh, yes.
This is that.
Look at this, James.
Wow, that's
my God.
fantastic.
That's awesome right there. Oh, that is amazing. Check it out. That's awesome. This scene was one of those scenes in the first film, and Jason will attest to this. We didn't actually think this was going to be one of the scariest scenes, but audiences loved that scene where Tucker was using this.
Lee's being nice because really Jason didn't think it was going to work, and Jason was wrong.
No.
He's being nice.
No, we really, one of the great things about making films is that audiences will surprise you with the stuff they like.
Yeah.
And this prop was something they loved, that whole
The
sequence.
idea of the Viewmaster,
So, you guys
Yeah, because they like it, because they love it because it's so much fun, right?
Yeah.
It's something that they can relate to, and they see it, they go, oh, that's the toy that we grew up with, and
Totally,
these characters
yeah.
are taking it and using it and turning it into ghost hunting equipment. And so I think that's where the fun factor comes from.
Jason's going to break it.
Well,
he's
Tucker-
broken your prop.
Tucker says in the film too, I make all this stuff myself.
It's great.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
I can't wait.
When we first got together, we started talking about Insidious. We were talking about those characters, Tucker and Specs, and we thought a really cool way to use them for Halloween Horror Nights is that you'd encounter them before you even get to the facade for the attraction. And so every night during Halloween Horror Nights, we're going to be tweeting a password. And if you give the password to Specs, you'll get a little secret something every night of the event, and every night it's going to change. So it's just one of these things we're going to do interactively for the fans, so that the people that are paying attention get a little something extra.
It's the
That's
best.
great. Lee, the night that you're going to be visiting, everyone's going to be coming up to you and going, what's the password? Give me the
No, I
password.
want to, maybe I'll put on the Specs uniform and go out there and do that one night.
You
That'd
should.
Be awesome fun.
There's a proud tradition of that in Halloween Horror Nights.
One night I'll be doing that. And Jason will be playing Tucker. He'll put a beard on.
We got to get a beard.
But it's going to be so much fun. I mean, coming back to what we were saying before, it's like these fans get to live the horror film.
And it's really exciting as designers for us. Like we said, the paranormal is something that we honestly shied away from. We weren't really sure how to do it. So trying to get our heads around the Insidious franchise and figure out how to bring it to life and maybe scare people in a different way than we've scared before is really exciting.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That is exciting to do something a bit different
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
You said to us in that first meeting, it was like, this is kind of not what we would usually do because we're so used to having things be loud and aggressive. The paranormal is...
So that's exciting for me as a fan. So that means I've got something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.